My name is Rahul Rikhy. I'm currently an MD5 on the island of St. Vincent. Prior to medical school, I was a practicing physical therapist in the San Francisco Bay Area. I came to St. Vincent in January of last year, and I've loved it. Coming out here has been just an absolute life-changing experience. One of the best things that I think that medical school has taught me is humility. I mean, it's one of the most humbling things in the world to come from my previous profession, and I think that I know everything, only to know that I now know nothing, and I am building upon a foundation that I didn't know that I could build upon with physical therapy. And I think the number one thing that medical school has taught me so far is that I have way more to learn, and there's always more to learn. And coming here, and my professors have taught me so much in the respect that no matter how much I know, there's always more to learn. And I love having that ability and having that opportunity that St. James has provided me to build upon my knowledge base. And it's amazing. I really genuinely enjoy it here. So the thing about physical therapy, I love physical therapy. I really do. I have nothing bad to say. It's a beautiful profession. It helps people in ways that no other profession can. What I did realize, though, while practicing physical therapy is that I didn't feel like I was incorporating all of my knowledge in the most available way for my patients. And everywhere that I looked, I wanted to advance my knowledge. I always turned to medicine. Medicine obviously gives you the opportunity to help someone in every single way possible, and the ways that healthcare can provide. You are the leader of the healthcare team. You are the person who is directing the rest of the healthcare team, and there's almost no limitations of what you can and cannot do. And that's actually why I wanted to go into family medicine. I mean, family medicine, you do everything, right? And so family medicine, it just spoke to me in the respect that if you are a jack of all trades and you have almost no limitations of what you can do to help someone. And that's why I think that if I did go into another specialty, I would just end up in the same problem that I had with physical therapy, in the respect that I have to treat someone with the lens of, this is what I was trained to do. I'm a specialist, and if you have another problem outside of my specialty, I'm sorry that I can't help you as much as I want to. And I don't want that again. And that's the opportunity that St. James has provided me, is to go that route and to start my career as a family medicine, hopefully as a family medicine physician, a few years down the line. The reason why I chose St. James was for a few reasons. One, I am funding my own medical education, and because I didn't want to take on debt. So I saved for a good amount of time, at least as much as I possibly could. And St. James had the most affordable tuition. One of the reasons that I chose St. James in particular was that they are extremely transparent with their residency matches. So I knew I wanted to go into family medicine. Even before medical school, this is the track that I wanted to go through. And while researching medical schools, I noticed that they have an extremely high match rate for family medicine and primary care specialties in general, in particular. So the only two specialties that would have really interested me was family medicine, internal medicine. That happened to be their two biggest matches. And so I wanted to obviously go to a school that knew what they were doing and that knew how to potentially make my ambitions come true. And I thought that St. James would potentially be one of the best for that. MD5 is intense, to say the least. You should know everything by now on the USMLE Step 1, and you shouldn't learn anything new potentially at this time in MD5. All of the new information should be learned in MD1 through 4 from the USMLE Step 1. And when you are in MD5, you are just basically building upon that knowledge that you built upon in MD1 through 4. It's intense because you are learning everything again and building upon it even more, and applying that knowledge towards questions, particularly USMLE style questions. And it is very good if you have that knowledge base, but you have to have that knowledge base going in. There's no getting around it. In the San Francisco Bay Area, it's obviously a little different from here, as you can probably understand. The climate's very different. We have seasons there. In St. Vincent, we only have one season, and it's 85 degrees. And it wasn't that challenging to incorporate yourself on the island, I must say. I was actually pleasantly surprised. It was about maybe a 2-week learning gap of where to get your groceries, how to make sure you get to the gym, get your car if you need one. It was about a 2-week learning gap where you just had to learn where everything is. But other than that, it's actually quite accessible. I spend way less time driving in St. Vincent than I do in the San Francisco Bay Area. That is a huge plus because I can actually spend more time studying. And that being said, there are pros and there are cons. One of the cons is sometimes you can't get everything that you want from the grocery store. But the pros are that everything that you need otherwise is generally here to be a medical student and to operate as a medical student. And that creates a good environment for you to just focus. So I personally, and I recommend this to everyone, is the day one of medical school, you start prepping for step one. As far as I'm concerned, it is a 2-year process to prep for step one. And if you start thinking about it in MD5, then it is way too late. You obviously have your golden resources, UWorld, First Aid, Pathoma, and Sketchy. They call them UFAPs. That being said, it capitalizes your knowledge every single day in class to apply that knowledge, not only with the teachings of your professors, but through questions. Tons of questions that you do every single day. You should be doing practice questions every single day. I think I've done, I want to say close to 20,000, 25,000 flashcards up in these last 1.5 years between USMLE RX and Anki that a lot of medical students use for spaced repetition. That being said, you always have to be prepping. Again, you need to know every single thing that you will be tested on in MD 1 through 4, and you are just building upon that in MD 5. So I've been everywhere for my education. I did PT school in Southwest Virginia. I did college at the University of Arizona in Tucson, and now I'm here. I do not necessarily have a geographic preference. At the end of my medical education, I do potentially want to serve in an underserved area, just because I kind of want to get out of the city. That being said, I am open to any type of geographical area as long as it can provide for individuals who don't have access to healthcare as readily as others. And I think what I would get from that is a moral victory, more so than anything else. I mean, you go through your entire career and you ask yourself, why would you go into healthcare if you don't want to help someone in the most need? And I think someone in the most need can use someone with an advanced degree of training, an advanced degree of understanding of the human body, and apply those resources for them when they otherwise wouldn't have it. And I think that's what I would get the biggest satisfaction from. When you are looking at medical schools, you want to be realistic with your capabilities to succeed in medicine, and you will have to gauge that with how well you do within obviously your undergrad, but how motivated you are to just really, from the second you wake up to when you go to bed, you need to earnestly put in the work. Sincerely, you need to earnestly put in the work. I mean, I spend at least 12 hours a day studying, and that is something you just need to do. You need to be self-motivated. You need to have that in you. And if you do, then you can advance in your career in medicine, but it's going to take hard work. There's no getting around it. There's no shortcuts. There's no easy way out, and the only way out is through in medicine, period. You have to be willing to put in the work.